so many more chicken nuggets.
It's Jen and Lizzie, girls that eat.
All right, we are back. I am Jen.
Lizzie, and we're the
Girls
girls.
that eat.
I
All
just
right.
pork tenderloin that I had made and sweet potatoes.
Yum. I made yesterday some chicken adobo. So my mom's always made adobo as we were kids, and so I finally like learned it and perfected it myself. And so I made it for her yesterday. I made like a big pot, and then this morning she was just like, "This is so good." I'm like, "Thank you." She goes, "Oh, you can cook." I'm like, "Yeah, I can cook. Of course I can cook."
She didn't know you could cook.
Well,
She's
every
been
time she's here, she's like always cooking. So I like her, like all her recipes, but then I've been like really watching her cook so I could like do it myself. And there was
yeah.
like one recipe, and I'm just like, I saw her like boiling the meat and then she would cook it, but then it would taste very, not taste, oh, maybe her meat didn't really have taste to it. I'm like, why do you do that? And she goes, that's how it was just always done. So I'm like thinking, okay, I'm gonna do it my way. And it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be better. So I have to try it out, but I have to remember all her, I have to write it
Yeah.
down.
She started a cookbook. I
Maybe.
used I don't know where it went. In all the million times I've moved, I think I lost it.
You have a cookbook or you wrote a cookbook?
Yeah, I had just I would keep track of recipes. Like I had recipes from my mom, things that she would make, things that I would make. I'd write it down, like so I could actually remember how I did stuff, or just make adjustments if it came
Mhm.
out good to come out better. Yeah, and it's gone. I can't find it anywhere
Oh no. See, that's why you have to save all that crap on your phone.
until I get hacked. No, I know. Now it's like I want to keep it everywhere. But I have been thinking about I need an address book because I want to keep everyone's addresses. Because literally every year for Christmas, even if I feel like I've saved someone's address like under their contact, I had to get a new phone and like I always have to add the addresses again.
Oh no.
Rolling blackout. Or or all the satellites get hacked. How are we gonna call each other? Do you know my phone number?
Yes.
I'll- I don't know your I don't remember it.
Know the area code?
Are you still 209?
I was never 209.
Oh no. I was thinking New Jersey. I don't remember. Something with a nine.
Is yours with okay, yours is either a four or a seven.
The four. It starts with a four.
Is it 434? 474. There's two fours in the area code, right?
484. Yep.
484. I did one time made an effort, like, I'm gonna remember Lizzie's number, and then I remembered it, but it's just you never have to use it. There's
Yeah.
no payphones.
I know. But what if you were stranded somewhere, you know,
Do you have, I
without
mean, the only numbers I remember are, I don't even remember my mom's number because she changes it all the time, is just Jerome and Carlo. That's it.
I know Garrett's and I know my brother's.
That's it.
236 570.
Huh? Has he had that number forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I lived with him, I mean, he was my emergency contact and like when I was in the army and all this stuff. So
You just knew.
yeah, he better never change it or I'm screwed. But anyway, that's what I was thinking about. Like, I want an address book. I want to have people's phone numbers. I want to be that old lady that has everything written down. So I
And
want to cook.
space.
Yes, keeping track. Keeping
Yeah.
track. I
Um,
keep all the phone, but the address thing, I don't. Every year I say like, oh, I'm going to save it under their contact, and I just never go back in and do it. Anyway, recipe.
Speaking of recipes, so we got like that Ninja creamy deluxe where you can make your own ice cream.
Yes.
Yes, it is so good. Like all you need is just milk and heavy cream and whatever flavoring you want. But I've been mixing it with like flavored protein powder and I had like this cookie and cream one. It was so good. But I forgot the recipe that I had because I usually would save them. And then so I made like a second batch, but it was strawberries this time, but it wasn't, it just did not taste good. So now I'm like kind of playing with my own recipe to figure out, okay, which one actually tastes good so that I could just
Yeah.
write it down and then I could share it because I've seen like the recipes they show online, but they
Mhm.
don't have a lot of reviews and then some are like 4.5 stars. I want like 5 stars, like with like 1,000 reviews. That's how you know it's good.
You have to come up with one.
I know, I'm gonna do that. So I made one this morning. It takes 20, you have to let it freeze for 24 hours. And they come in these small containers.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, how the big gallons that you have at the store. So if it's good, they're like, okay, I have to remember this recipe and then make
Yeah.
more of it. But they only give you two small containers, and then you have to go and buy more so you can have like gallons of them.
Yeah, there were some people at the gym that were like sharing recipes with each other on the different things that they were making. And it was all like with, protein this and protein that. So it could be, a little more on the healthy side.
Yeah, and I feed it to the kids too, because like this is the regular ice cream, even though everything's all the healthy ice cream, and they're like, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good."
Yeah, they're not going to know the difference.
Yeah, eat your protein.
Getting strong.
We'll have to find a way to put veggies in there.
You could. Avocado. That's a fruit though. Avocado ice cream.
Have you ever had avocado ice cream?
Not, but I feel like it would be really. I've had frozen avocados.
Yeah, well, at the Asian store, I mean, I'm sure it's like full with sugar too, because I mean, just plain avocados is not good. I mean, yeah, you have to put
So
like condensed milk or something.
honey or like, yeah, you could do like probably an agave
Yeah,
or
maple
like that.
syrup, something.
More more savory maybe than sweet.
Try that. That sounds good.
Like the ube ice cream.
That's good.
I miss it so much.
It's so good. Ube ice. I miss the pancakes.
Ube pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
speaking of breakfast and eating, that's what we wanted to talk about today. We want to talk about what a day looks like for you, what a day of eating looks like for me, and then just kind of take it from there of how we can, things like why breakfast is super important, our protein, especially as women, how it can help our hormones, and
mhm.
how to set up your kitchen and your pantry to help you, make sure you're eating the right things. So, what does a day of eating look like for you? Starting from like when you wake up, when you go to bed.
So if it's like a day where I have to take the kids to school, then usually when I wake up, I'll just drink a bunch of water. And then by the time, so that's like I wake up at 6 a.m., take them to school, and I'll be home around 7:30, 7:45. Then I'll usually have my first cup of coffee. Like, well, I usually have one cup of coffee a day, depending on how I feel. But my first cup of coffee with the sugar-free vanilla, whatever, creamer. And then I will work out. And then after that, I'll have like a protein shake, those protein, what is that brand? When they sell at Costco, the little
Premier.
containers. Yeah, Premier. I might even have one in my trash can. No, I don't. Yeah, I usually do like the coffee flavored one or the chocolate or the vanilla. And then I'll eat usually about like 1 o'clock, something with like either chicken or vegetables, and I'll have some rice with it. And then it's pretty much almost something very similar in the afternoon, evening, like around 5-ish.
Yeah.
And then if I'm still hungry, I'll eat more protein, more meat and vegetables.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my day. I don't really have chips anymore or bad stuff, which is good.
Yeah. What do you snack on anything? Like if you do snack?
Oh, I'll do like mozzarella cheese balls and
Mm,
um what is it called? Like cherry tomatoes
mm,
or like mozzarella sticks. But the Costco had like these, it's like a little packet, like a small packet, and has like three little balls in there. Have you seen those? They're s-
haven't.
they're so good. But then if I don't have that, then I'll do the string cheese. I'll do cheese.
I love how you peeled it.
Yeah. I feel like when you eat those, you have to peel them. Like I feel like when I just take a bite into them, it's just like I feel like this is not right.
Not what it's for.
Yeah, that's usually like my snack. That's what I have. Or sometimes I'll do if I cut up some pineapples, I'll have pineapples with tahini.
Okay.
Mm,
Good.
That's kind of like my day. I don't really eat too much sweets anymore unless it's like someone's birthday or
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah. So you don't have stuff you just don't have stuff like that in the house now?
Not anymore. I mean, like the kids will have Oreos, but I'm like, as long as I don't touch it, because I can't just have one. If I take a little bite, then it's fucking over. It's gone. But that's why I just stay away from it.
You can't pick one out of the packet, close the door, walk away.
No, because that taste like lingers in your mouth, and it's like I should get another one.
Eat like sound off
Yeah, it's like
for you want me in your mouth.
but you ever have like those days where you're like you don't know what you want to eat, so you just start eating a bunch of random stuff, like, okay, maybe I need to eat something salty, and it's like, oh, the sweet didn't work, and then you're just like by the time you're just full of like, what the fuck did I eat?
Right. Especially if you have like a bunch of leftovers or random stuff, um, like in the fridge, and like you end up with this smorgasbord of random stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes like I have like those you like those sardine cans where you flip them open and you just eat them? They're usually like in olive oil. Do you like sardines?
Oh, I think we've talked before. Honestly, I couldn't say if I don't. I have not had them since. Like, I think I tried them like not 20 years. How old am I? Yeah, probably like 25 years ago on pizza, but it was anchovies, which are more
It's different. 'Cause,
different,
yeah, anchovies are like extremely salty. Like I think they,
like dried or something like that compared to the sardines.
yeah, but
Can't like,
it's
and like,
I know, you know what? If you just like see it for the first time, it's like, what the fuck is this? But I grew up with that and it was so good. Like my parents used to cook it with eggs.
okay,
It was good with rice. Oh my God. It's good.
try it
So
again.
you have to try it.
Trying to eat an olive. I'm definitely gonna throw up.
You don't like olives?
Oh, and I tried again and again. I've tried garlic stuffed olives.
Have you tried
The
the one with blue cheese in it?
Yeah, because I like gin martinis, and my brother makes them. And one of the last times we were in Pennsylvania, um, I was like, "All right, just throw the olives in. I'll do it." And I put it in my mouth, and I was chewing it. I was just like, like I tried so hard, and I swallowed it, but it was, ugh, I just couldn't do it.
Do you like black olives in your pizza?
No,
No.
if there's, I will taste it like from far, like before I even put it in my mouth.
Really? Do you like pickles?
I do, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. To me, they just taste like dirt and mold altogether. I don't know.
Mold. Maybe you have a bad batch.
I've eaten moldy stuff before. Oh, this one time, here's a story, and I'll get back on track. I My mom used to make rhubarb cake growing up, and it was like we'd have a little piece for breakfast and stuff. It's kind of like a rhubarb bread slash cake. And we left it on the counter. I mean, it was wrapped, but it definitely should have been in the fridge. And so it was out for a little while. And I'm that person even now where I'm like, I cracked the Tupperware or whatever, like, meh, seems fine. It's been in there for a while. So I cut the cake and I put it on my plate and I went to take a bite of it. I mean, and it still smelled good. It had like the cinnamon kind of smell to it. Put it in my mouth, and I swear to you, it just disappeared because it was just straight mold spores.
That's
Consistency to it at all. It just, ugh. It was really bad. It was really gross. I ate just like, I mean, I eat mushrooms. Like mushrooms are mold spores, but this was totally different. It was like fungus, like cobweb fungus. So I don't know if that sticks with me and I get that flavor and I'm just like, can't.
might be you're traumatized.
A little bit. And then I felt like guilty because I was like, oh, I was being greedy. Trying to have a piece of cake. And I got punished.
It's like, you need to throw this all away.
Try it. Watch from afar while one of my brothers or sisters tries it.
Yeah, it's like that's fucked up.
So you were talking about cravings too. I want to come back to that because there's all kinds of reasons that you crave things. Like, I mean, there's like food triggers as to why you crave things, just routine and habit. But there's also like usually if your body is telling you you need something, like you said, a little sweet or a little salty or something like that, it usually means your body's missing something. So
Oh,
they're in for it. It's not just like you have no self control. You're a piece of shit. It's like sometimes you actually got to look into it and listen to our body. Um, I want to come back to that in a minute. My day of eating usually looks like when I first get up, especially if it's an early day, like I'm coaching at 5:30, I make my coffee. This giant Yeti. Oh, I want it to focus.
you still
Oh,
have a sticker.
is it focusing on it? Oh, it
Mhm.
is. Sticker. Black Rifle coffee. So I'll usually make my coffee and then I make a shaker cup of water and this protein that I have. It's called Perfect Aminos with creatine in it. I do one little scoop of creatine, and the Perfect Aminos are different than like your typical whey protein. It's literally just the aminos, so it's pretty like I feel like it's kind of like tart. Um, it's not like real heavy though, and so it's actually the studies. If you look on their website, and their website is Body Health Perfect Aminos. They have all kinds of supplements, but your body doesn't usually break down. It takes so long to break down the protein powders that we usually use that we're only a minuscule amount of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've started doing that in the morning because they have like a whole chart as to how you're supposed to supplement it. Excuse me. So I start with that. So I'm getting protein in right away, but also getting water in. And then I don't forget my creatine because creatine is great for your muscles, for your brain health. And then I'll have either like a breakfast sandwich before I leave the house. Sometimes frozen ones. I have a couple recipes that I want to make. Actually, save them and put them in the freezer. But like today, I made some eggs and we had leftover ham. So I made that and ate that after I coached class. And then I have like a meal replacement shake too. That's like, depending how many scoops I do, up to 45 grams of protein. Um, and then I had my pork tenderloin and sweet potato. And then usually I'll have like 2 meals like that through the afternoon. Like I try to eat at least 4 full meals and then snacks or the shakes in between. Because I put the Premier protein in my coffee. I use the vanilla instead of cream or milk. So I do that. And then dinner, like if we're not, because if Garrett's bartending and I'm just home by myself, like sometimes for dinner I don't want like a heavy, I don't want rice or potatoes or pasta. Sometimes I do have it, but I'll do like just a huge salad with either more pork tenderloin or like a good amount of chicken. I'm trying to work on getting around 30 to 35 grams of protein per meal because I'm trying to hit like 150 grams a day.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't plan for that, it doesn't happen. So that's where I added this meal replacement shake in too, to give me more, because I was tracking for a few, like almost a week.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of days were kind of a little bit off, but I don't get enough carbs in either.
Get enough carbs?
Enough carbs in. I don't really eat breads, and I haven't really been eating fruit, so I've tried to add more fruit into my daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
Protein yogurt or something. So, and I drink my one giant coffee, and then really it's just water throughout the day. Maybe the protein shakes.
Oh yeah, forgot to mention water. I drink lots of water throughout the day. If I don't, I just feel sluggish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have to
Yeah,
drink.
headaches easier. My joints hurt more. I usually have like my giant jug. That's like I think 64 ounces or something.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how big you are, or your body size. Like if you have someone super petite, like they shouldn't be drinking a gallon a day. Your body can't always handle that, but depending on your weight, 60 to 80 ounces is usually pretty good.
How do you calculate how many grams of protein you're supposed to eat? Do you have like a equation?
There's a couple different ways you can do it. And a lot of times, even with clients, I say around 1 gram per pound of body fat or body weight. But sometimes that's even a lot for people. So 0.07 to 1 gram is usually good. So
Weight.
130 to 150, yeah. And there's another like for per kilogram
Mhm.
that people measured out. But again, it depends on what your goals are, and it depends on how much you're lifting, what your workouts are like, how much you actually need. But that's a general idea of what you want to get in 0.07 to 1 gram per pound of your weight.
And yours is calculated with you wanting to gain muscle.
Yeah. So I'm trying to hit higher. And like I said, if I don't plan, then it's hard to get it in. The shakes do help, but obviously you do want to get most of that from actual whole foods.
Yeah.
To just be only eating meal replacement shakes all day long. You need whole foods. So you don't really eat breakfast, and you do have a protein shake, which is good. Because I found that a lot of clients that I've dealt with, and a lot of the like registered dietitians that I follow, and even like the clients that I use working through HSN, or the clients I work with, I use them. I don't use them.
Let's make
Words
that clear.
But a lot of people just don't eat breakfast. Whether they just don't like breakfast foods, or they don't give themselves enough time to eat, or you don't plan the night before. But most people just have coffee in the morning and
Yeah.
start, which I used to do too. I would let it go, and then like one example, I had a client. She had kids. She would get them ready for school. She'd have her coffee, and then she would just get super busy or go right to work. She would end up eating until like 2 p.m. But she would keep have more coffee, or a different sort of caffeine. And some people do it because they think they're going to lose weight that way, just by not eating. Like your intermittent fasting, and your fasting is going even longer. But really, it really just affects your weight loss, and the fact that it's going to be harder to get your protein in.
Mhm.
Starting till 11 or 2 p.m. That eating window gets smaller. So it's hard to get 150 good, healthy grams of protein in.
Yeah.
I'll just use 150 as an example, but she was feeling sluggish. She couldn't get her weight off. And then just explaining to her that, caffeine is okay for us to, a certain degree. There's actually benefits to coffee beans, but it's also an appetite suppressant. So if you have coffee first thing, then you don't get those hunger hormones. Because I talk to a lot of people who are just like, well, I'm just not hungry in the morning. Well, what's your routine? Is the
Yeah.
first thing you have your coffee, and then it suppresses your hunger hormones. Actually, you have ghrelin and leptin. So you have ghrelin in your stomach, leptin in your brain, and that they're supposed to talk to each other. They're supposed to let you know if you're hungry. They're supposed to let you know back and forth. Okay, now we're kind of full. And when your appetite's suppressed because of the caffeine, you don't even think about it. You're not paying attention to those hunger cues. And then, before you know it, your day's half over and you haven't had anything. So that's like one of the biggest things I have clients do. It seems like women mostly, but I have had some guys who they don't eat breakfast. They just never have, because they're just too busy. And that's like one of the first things I have people start to do, like drink your water. Let's start to get some sort of protein as fuel in, first or within 2 hours of waking up, 30 minutes to 2 hours. Then you're not trying to cram it in at night or just not getting enough.
Mm-hmm.
Never going to be able to build muscle. Your body doesn't get the fuel it needs. So then it doesn't want to put too much energy towards, building muscle and burning fat, because it's trying to just survive and keep you going, keep your lights on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one, because I remember when I had like that coach I bought many years ago. I was eating like 5 meals a day, but they were like little mini meals, and it was every like 2 to 3 hours. And it was always, you had to, like, some had like 30 grams of protein, some had 40, but it was nice balancing all that out, because it's just like, oh, in 2 hours I get to eat again. And then, it'll be like meat, vegetables. And then sometimes if it was like one carb day, it would have like rice in it too. And now I didn't feel like I was hungry, so it was nice. But it was just, when you finished your food, you weren't like hungry anymore, but you weren't like full. So when you accept that, it's like, okay, I ate, I'll drink water, I'm fine. I'll be able to eat again in 2 to 3 hours. And you have like all these meals with you. So if you could accept that.
Yeah, and I think that comes with the mindfulness around eating too, because we're used to that full feeling or that hungry feeling, but there's no we don't really pay attention to when we're satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that can come from we're distracted all the time. Also, like people eat, I know I do it. Like I'm working on stuff and I'm eating and I'm not really paying attention to how my body's feeling. I'm just going through the motions, or scrolling on your phone and eating, or TV's on, whatever it is. There's always something to distract you. And I had a client, that was one of the habits we worked on, of removing distractions during. Oh, my battery's getting low. Dang it. I'm gonna have to plug it in at some point. But she found that it was super helpful. Like she would eat through, her lunch, or work through her lunch. And when she started like putting the phone away, she actually started noticing how her stomach felt, how her body felt. And then she would be like, oh, you know what? I'm actually satisfied. And it was like a huge change for her, because she would have cravings throughout the day. So when she just started paying attention to what she was actually eating,
Mm-hmm.
she like, this is stupid. And I was like, oh, she might quit. I don't know what's going on. She's like, it's stupid how simple it is. She
Right.
was told that it doesn't have to be confusing and overwhelming. Just paying more attention.
Right. And it's accepting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the breakfast thing too. When you're trying to, like, your body recovers at night also, so that's another thing of having a plan and starting eating and fueling your body within a couple hours of waking up. So then you're not trying to cram a bunch of food in at the end of the day, or
Mm-hmm.
like I have to eat late sometimes because I teach late classes or have late clients. And even though I ate at 3:30 or 5 o'clock, but depending, I still want to eat when I get home, but then your body is focusing more on digesting and detoxing and trying to balance your sugars from your meal instead of recovering,
Yeah.
building your muscles and all these things. So it affects your sleep quality too.
Oh, so you're not supposed to eat like a certain amount of time before you go to bed?
I mean, there's different studies. I would say, I mean, I've heard, 2 hours before bedtime or something like that. Even with drinking a lot of water too, because that can affect your sleep, right? If you have to pee all night long.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and so it's not like you're not allowed to eat after this time, but the later it is, the bigger the meal, depending what the is in the meal too. It depends on what your sugars are going to do. Even drinking alcohol before bed, the sugars in the alcohol, like it has that, oh, you feel like you're tired, but then your body is still trying to process all that. So
Mhm.
you're not actually.
Yeah.
So like, maybe snacks before bed, not like a full meal. Something that's like a slow metabolizing protein. I've been doing frozen black cherries
Oh.
instead of ice cream. So I'll just put frozen fruit in a bowl, kind of let it sit. Sometimes I throw it in the microwave just a little bit, so it's not like rock hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine because it's that little bit of sugar. Um, Helps me not reach for the ice cream,
Right.
which I only have once in a while in the freezer. Uh, but if I have it, I'm gonna have it with peanut butter.
This is all mine.
Nobody can have it. Um, Another thing too, just looking at some of the notes I have here, going back to eating your protein in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be more satiated. Like, so if you struggle with the choices you make during the day, well, your food choices because you're not eating until later and then all of a sudden you're starving and you're just grabbing whatever. Obviously planning helps for that too, but if you're satiated by having, protein, carbs and fats together in the morning for your first meal, then you're making better choices throughout the day because you don't have things. You're not waiting till the hunger pains come along and then you just, fall off the wagon or, go to the nearest fast food place if you're out running errands. That's hard too. Um, Grabbing snacks while you're in line somewhere. There's always all the crap is right by the checkout line.
All the candy,
Candy,
chips.
the protein bars that are just solid sugar.
I know. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta get in that routine of like even just packing the food and
yeah.
bringing it with you.
Having snacks in the truck for myself. I mean, sometimes I don't eat them. I don't get to them all, or they get crushed under my things. Like I had little granola bars. Right now, I have a little individual packed popcorn, Himalayan salt popcorn from Lesser Evil, and they make their popcorn with coconut oil.
Oh, wow.
Delicious. And
Yeah.
I was hungry, and I was like in the midst of like I, ate earlier at the gym. I had to run some errands before Christmas, whatever. I think I was going to the post office. Um, but I just needed a little something, and had that one big bag with a bunch of little individual bags in it, so that saved me from stopping somewhere else until I got home, and then was able to have like a regular full meal. So preparing is very,
Yeah.
very
That's a
and
good idea.
healthy snacks too. I mean, like it doesn't even have to be a snack food, like you say, like your cheese, cheese and tomatoes, a little bit of lunch meat, like I don't know, make your own little homemade bento box.
Yeah.
Adult, what are those things called? The snack pack things.
Oh, the little square things.
Yeah,
Lunchables.
Lunchables. Like picturing the little pepperonis and the pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good. I haven't had those in a long time. I used to have those for like school, but I'd rather just make my own.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's so many ideas. If you on Pinterest, I'm sure TikTok has a bunch too, but like your own little homemade Lunchables,
Mhm.
healthy thing. It doesn't hurt to carry around a lunchbox
Yeah.
back in there. Was carrying a lunchbox cool when you were in school, or was it like, oh, those kids pack their lunch?
I always packed my lunch and it was like it was either like the the metal tin can that had a little snap onto it, or it was like a plastic one. I thought it was I loved mine. Those are like fucking collectibles now. Yeah, I had like a Garfield one. It was red.
Oh,
Yeah. I would just
I
remember
was,
that one.
yeah.
And it
I
came
always
with
felt
like a thermos cup too, where you put your water in.
the
Yeah.
little matching cup on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always felt like we were, maybe because we had so many kids in our family and we were like poor. Sometimes we could, there were certain years where we could get the reduced lunches, like the reduced cost lunches, where we
Mhm.
only had 40 cents for lunch, while the other kids had to pay like $1 or something. Packing, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but in our school, I feel like if you were the kid that packed lunch, like you were not cool. You didn't have enough money. You had to bring your food from home.
Is
So
that how you felt?
yeah, I did. Like you walk in, like, oh, you don't get the pizza. You sit down and just like hope whatever you put in your lunch, because we always packed our own lunches too, like the good snacks. Get
Well,
like the giant box of like all the variety pack of crackers.
yeah. But what would you pack yourself?
Usually sandwiches, because like I don't think we'd leftovers maybe, but we didn't have a way to heat them up. That's the only thing.
Oh, they don't have microwaves. We didn't have microwaves in our school either. I mean, maybe there was, but no one ever told us. But I never brought anything where I had to warm it up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I
Yeah.
mean, I don't even know how much lunch is now for kids. Boys pack their lunch. They
Yeah.
like to.
I mean, depending on the school too, like usually they're just giving the kids crap.
Yeah. Someone was complaining about the food that they give to the kids. And I think it was like they were saying it was like $5, but it was all like garbage food. It was like there was nothing healthy in there.
Yeah,
Like, is
like
that
a
what
hundred.
you paid for? And I was like, oh, I didn't even know they were offering all that.
Yeah, not healthy. I feel like back in the day we had healthier options,
Yeah,
but
because I
maybe
remember we used to have like there was like spaghetti. I mean, I remember like the lady would because we'd have like those trays, and then when you pull up, like slap some spaghetti, but it was good spaghetti. It wasn't like prison food. It was good. That's what I
yeah,
remember. I remember spaghetti because I remember when I was eating it, it had like the bay leaves in there, and I'm like, why the fuck is there a leaf in here? I didn't realize it was,
no sauce.
yeah. Yeah, and then
No,
we had like the milk cartons.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a long time.
Very long time ago.
Oh, what else was I gonna say? Oh, when it does come to breakfast, this is another thing. It can help balance your blood sugar. And that's like what is important to know about your like your morning fuel choices. It doesn't always have to be breakfast food. Some actually like people just don't like breakfast foods. Like our culture, it's very much like there's breakfast meats and eggs. It has to be this like and toast, hash browns. You can eat anything for your first meal. It
Yeah.
doesn't like half of my tenderloin and sweet potato is like my mid-morning meal. I love breakfast food, so it doesn't bother me, but
Yeah.
you can balance your blood sugar from the night before, which then in turn can help balance your hormones.
I didn't know that.
When your hormones are all out of whack, because it could do, reduce stress, ease up on your adrenal glands. And I found out too that cortisol comes from progesterone. And I didn't realize that. Like it's cortisol is another hormone, our stress hormone. And progesterone is one of our sex hormones. But so that has a connection of if we're lowering our stress on our body, that helps our cycles, it helps our thyroid, mental clarity, things like that, pregnancy, all just by eating. And eating, like I said before, healthy, whole foods, not just grabbing a muffin first thing in the morning. Because again, that's carbs and sugars that'll just spike your blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as, it might be satisfying in the moment, but it's not going to satiate you again throughout the day. So even just your breakfast choices, like, can be simple. Have you ever made overnight oats?
No.
You do oats, yogurt, a protein powder. You can do chia seeds, like black cherries, like the frozen black cherries, and milk. And you blend it all. I mean, we have a recipe too, like with chocolate protein and little tiny chocolate chips in it, or a sweeter version. But you shake it all up. We usually do it in a glass jar and then let it sit overnight, and then it thickens up, and it's more like like pudding in the morning.
You don't have
And
to
it's
do anything to it. You just wait the
yeah.
next morning, just eat it.
Mhm.
Huh.
So it's super easy. It's an easy thing to prepare too. Like it makes it, you can do a few of them if you wanted to, if you knew you're going to be busy. And it's a good blend of protein, carbs, and fats. Because if you can keep that balance through each meal, then again, you're not overeating on one thing, one of the macros, or like severely undereating in something else.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're always just trying to get a balanced meal or snack, then you usually end up okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about the foods because when you don't plan that, it's just harder to, when you go to a fast food place, you just with all that garbage that's in there, it's a lot
Yeah.
harder. So taking
Ugh,
time.
I
What?
was gonna back to I don't know, a couple episodes ago where we were talking about the Mothers Across America studies about the hormones and the contraceptives and
Yeah.
plastic, all kinds of stuff in fast food. Heartbroken. It's a Chick-fil-A contraceptives in their chicken.
The In-N-Out, the In-N-Out French fries.
I still gotta look up at the potato thing. I have that in my notes.
I saw this video. I guess they opened up like an In-N-Out in Ohio or something, and it's like the first one they have there, and people were waiting like 8 hours to get a freaking burger. I was like, damn. I mean, I know In-N-Out is good, but I wouldn't wait 8 hours to grab a burger.
That's insane. I don't have time for that.
I know.
I'll be like, excuse me, ma'am, can you hold my spot in line? I'm gonna go run my errands. Like,
Yeah, that's insane. It's like I would wait till it dies out. Then, I mean, are you that desperate for In-N-Out?
not, I mean, it's good, but it's not.
That good.
They're bringing one here to the Nashville area.
You guys don't have one?
Oh, we have like Whataburger is huge here. I've never had
Like
it.
that does not taste. I mean, I don't know. You give me your opinion. You fucking like almost everything, so you-
I'll eat anything. I'm just except for olives. If it's food, I'll eat it. Like if it's bland, whatever. I'm
right?
like cardboard. No thanks. But yeah, I'm not like real picky.
Yeah,
I'm
I know what you mean.
grateful to have food, I think.
Yeah, but I think once you try it, let me like, is that a place where you would like, okay, I'll go here, if I
Yeah.
want to eat. But for me, it's like I'd have to be like, unless there's like Whataburger everywhere and there's nowhere else to go, then I'll freaking eat it. But it's not going to be my choice to go to. Oh.
There is one little place. They just opened the Dutch Bros, and it's all like in the shopping area out in Smyrna, like where the Lowe's and the TJ Maxx and all that stuff is. They
Mhm.
did little fast food places, and there's one. It's called the Chicken Salad Chick. It's
That's
this
the
tiny little building. Yeah. I think you can go inside, but I've gone to the drive-through, and everything that they make there is some version of chicken salad.
is
You
it
can
good?
get sandwiches, you can get chicken salad on your salad. Yeah, it's really good. They do like soups and stuff too. But yeah, it was just something so different. I remember seeing it and I was like, well, let's try this.
Mhm.
Love chicken salad.
You can get a chicken salad wrap.
Mhm. And like some, spicy, the different seasonal flavors and everything. It's like, this chick was genius. Started
Right.
making
Mm.
chicken, and she's now called the Chicken Salad Chick.
What's her logo? Does she have a logo? Is it a chicken?
It's no, I think it's like a little lady. Chicken Salad Chick restaurant chain. Oh wait, is it a chicken? Oh no, it's a little lady. She's like this. She's like a little cartoon lady.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna try to
I'm gonna have to Google this. Are
see
you
it.
gonna share it?
Can you see it?
No, it's blurry.
This blur thing, I don't know how to get it off.
Oh, yeah, I was like, I kept wondering why you had it on. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I tried to reactions. No, we'll figure it out.
next episode.
Next episode. Backgrounds and effects.
Yeah,
Oh, there
there
you
you
go.
go. You'd have to do something. Speaking of episode, oh my God, yesterday we were watching TV, like just regular TV. I don't even
Mhm.
know what it was on, but The Price is Right was on, but it was like the old school Price is Right, like Bob Barker.
Oh, really?
So we were like looking at these, you're supposed to bid on all the stuff. And I don't know, they were like, we're gonna give you a new car. And it was like a freaking 1970s Pontiac. And the price of it was like $8,000. I was like, man, I don't know. It's just really funny seeing like all the old stuff that they had on there. And I mean, that show is old, but I was like so into it. I'm like, oh, it's 8,500. Pick that one, pick that
Here, now that I got the blur off.
one. Okay.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. She's a little chicken,
Oh,
a little lady.
is that her like lunch pail or something?
Yeah, it's a little basket with a little like cloth over top of it.
That's cute. Or she's like going on a picnic.
That's what it looks like. Hey, come with me and my picnic.
Eat my chicken salad. That's
But yeah,
cool.
we don't go out fast food very often. Oh, did you want to go over the craving list?
Craving. Yeah.
Bring it back around to that.
Yes.
I want to kind of compare some of these too. Um, the magnesium. This is a good one for like, why women crave chocolate during their period
Oh, okay.
is on magnesium.
They're lacking magnesium.
Eating, yeah.
Mm.
Here, so you can do nuts and fruits. I mean, obviously you could supplement with magnesium, which is pretty good for you also. If you're craving sweets, you might be deficient in phosphorus. So something you could eat would be chicken or eggs.
Oh.
Um, craving salty stuff, you could be deficient in chloride. So you could eat fish. You could also just add salt to things. Oh, this is a bigger list with the sugary stuff. Interesting. Okay, so sugary. Let's go back to sugary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Chromium, carbon. We talked about phosphorus, sulfur, tryptophan. So chromium, having broccoli, grapes, cheese, or chicken. Carbon, fresh fruits. Phosphorus, so if you're deficient in it.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken, fatty fish, eggs, dairy, nuts. Sulfur, cranberries, cabbage or cauliflower. And tryptophan is like Thanksgiving, everyone has turkey, there's tryptophan in it, but cheese, raisins, sweet potatoes, and spinach. It's none of that besides the fruit has like a sugary, vibe to it. But if you're mixing those different minerals, it's crazy. If you're craving bread, pasta, or other carbs, you could be low in nitrogen. So high protein foods, nuts, beans, chia seeds. Instead, if you're craving oily foods, that'd be like greasy foods. Maybe not greasy, oily.
What? I don't know.
Yeah.
You ever crave oily foods?
No.
I don't know.
I mean,
Oily.
or like I'll take a greasy burger or something.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's saying you might be low in calcium, so organic milk, cheese, green leafy veggies, and then salty, chloride or silicone.
So it sounds like cheese helps a lot with different cravings. Maybe that's why I'm not eating a lot of sugar, because I've been eating a lot of mozzarella.
Yeah. Yeah, leafy greens have calcium in it. The nitrogen, premenstrual stuff, you could be low in zinc also. So meats and leafy greens. So basically it just comes down to just eat whole foods and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. Be on like a whole food kick.
Craving. Trace minerals. If you're craving red meat, you need iron and or B12. I feel like most of us are deficient in anyway, or B12.
Right? Just gotta take our vitamins.
Yeah, because our food just doesn't have what it used to in it
Yeah, gotta supplement.
back in the day. Your unhealthy food cravings could be a sign of mineral deficiencies. I really want to do a minerals test, like a minerals blood test,
Yeah.
because that gets like down into the nitty gritty that no one ever really, like when you just do regular labs, they don't test.
You have to ask for a mineral blood test.
Yeah, test. You also have to, I forget if we talked about it, but like even hormone panels, like you have to actually ask to get all your estrogens tested because they just do like the one main one.
Hormone. Is this something you have to do like fasted? Like if you take it, then you have to just make sure you don't eat like the night before?
I honestly don't know. Um,
Because I mean, if you're eating a bunch of stuff and then you go in, and I think it would throw off the
yeah.
blood.
Um, yeah, you always want to do your blood tests like the same way and like the same time too, I've heard.
Blood test.
Vitamin deficiency and nutrition blood tests. I mean, sometimes you might not be deficient, but like Garrett, he has way too much iron in his blood. Like if you have,
Yes, the donate.
yeah. So there's other things that might be throwing off those levels because so much of it goes together. Like your vitamin D, vitamin K. You could supplement with a lot of things and your levels might not change because there's something deeper that they're not looking at that is affecting, like your body's not soaking up those nutrients. It's just wasting them. There's so much to it, but you have to ask. Like a lot of times you're like, why do you want to do that? And insurance doesn't always cover it either.
Really?
Start to dig deep into I don't think, I mean, obviously depending on what kind of insurance you have. And I'm back.
As you
Uh,
were saying,
yes, as I was saying. Um the blood tests. Yeah.
oh yeah, the insurance. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's definitely something you'd have to look into, before you go through with it, because I mean, it's crazy. Insurance, making everything so expensive. It's an
mhm,
arm and a leg to get these special tests done, or just regular blood tests too sometimes.
yeah,
And if you don't have insurance, it's crazy. But
yeah,
like the doctor that we found for Garrett too, she has her own practice now, and she's more holistic, functional wellness. And we had a full blood panel done for him. And she didn't make us do it all over again. Like she's like, all right, we'll go off these numbers. It's only been, 2.5, 3 months.
oh, that's good.
Yeah, let's just take these are specific ones I want to see, with you taking these vitamins and minerals. Like I want to double check on these numbers. So finding a doctor who actually cares also
Hmm.
very helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome because usually some places will be like, oh, we need new ones, and then just charge you all over again, and it ends up being very similar results.
Yeah. Yeah. And then digging deeper into it, not just like, well, here's the scale of where you should be, from 0 to 10. You're still in a good level, but maybe it's not a healthy level for you in comparison, to all these other things that could be affecting each other. And
Yeah,
just balancing those out has helped him so much.
he's doing a lot better.
A lot better. Yeah. Like it's inflammation and things like that, but his body feels better because it's running better. And it's
Yeah.
not pushing sludge through his veins of all the extra iron that his body couldn't get rid of.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because yeah, he was having it rough for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you don't get answers. You're like, well, this is just the way it is.
Yeah, right. Like
It's,
here's some drugs to take to, stop the pain. So
yeah.
that's the way to go.
It's a
Figure out your
band-aid.
body functions because everyone's body functions differently.
Right. Yeah. Depending, your what's hereditary in your family, how you've taken care of yourself, how you may not have taken care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good to figure out if I could ever get a hold of the VA. They still haven't called me about my swollen tongue with whatever this flu thing that's been going on. It's been knocking people down out here. People are dropping like flies
Oh
with the
no.
flu and strep and all kinds of stuff. So they still haven't called me, but it's a little better.
At least you could eat now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been forcing myself to eat. Um, but I was thinking maybe I'll use this opportunity to finally get someone on the phone to ask about getting a full blood panel because I haven't had one in years. I don't even know.
If I ever did one.
I think I had blood taken. Had blood taken before I got my boobs done because they had to check certain things. And then I had my blood taken when I thought my appendix burst, but it was just a cyst.
Oh yeah.
That was when we were house sitting for you.
Oh my
Years ago, years
God.
ago.
I remember. Like,
All of us would die.
I remember that photo. I think you were like laying in there with like glasses on, like sunglasses or something. You were
Yeah.
in pain.
Took a picture of my gut. It was just so distended. It was like, oh, it was awful. Swollen. But yeah, I haven't had blood work in forever, but I want to see how much the VA will cover. Like maybe I can get all these, deeper tests done. I don't really have cravings, but I just think it'd be really good to know. So I'm not getting younger,
Yeah.
what my body's doing.
You should just call them every day. So they just be like, oh my God, it's that lady again. Just get her a damn appointment.
It's so hard to call though, like to get a hold of your specific, I don't know, doctor. Maybe I
Appointment.
just don't have the direct line because it's a, it's a process. You can't just like call an office. You have to call the office and then they disperse you out from there. So I mean, I do have messaging. They have a way to direct message. Um, and the lady responded. She said, "I'll have someone reach out to you."
Like when? Like tomorrow? Because
That's what I'm gonna.
this
I'm
friend
gonna do this.
is still sick.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be dead by the time you reach out to me.
Yeah. You should be like, what's your name? And who's the person that's gonna call me?
I think her name was Peggy, just to throw it out there.
Yeah, I'm like, Peggy told me I was gonna get a call soon. It's been a week and I'm
It's been,
sick.
yeah,
Please help me.
yeah, ridiculous.
Call them right after we get off this.
Yeah, once my phone is charging right now, once it comes back on, I'll reach out and message again.
Are you
Oh, and
on your computer?
I'm on my computer right now. Yeah,
It sounds
it's not
better on the
clear though. Oh, does it?
I look clear.
You look very clear. I feel like I look blurry.
You don't look blurry.
No, I even cleaned the little screen, the camera a million times. I
I
don't
look,
like to have my camera on when I'm on my computer.
yeah, you have to have that little sliding thing. Oh, bloop.
Wait, they make those?
Yeah, these have like this little, it's like a little round thing, and then like you can kind of slide it to the side so it blocks the camera.
Oh,
Yeah. Or you could
that's
just put a
smart.
post-it note.
I have some.
Post-its.
Yeah, I had to get more because I'm a notes kind of person. Like I need to remember things.
Right? I'm the same way. I have post-its all over my computer. I like it.
Yeah, because I'll think of things. That's why I'm terrible at like being on my phone also, like when I'm driving, because I'll think of things and I don't want to forget.
I'm
Sometimes I have Siri make me a note or a reminder, but
like I feel like when I'm driving is when everything just starts coming to me. Like I have, and then I'm just like, I can't, I don't want to text and drive to make my notes. So yeah, one time I had like post-its in my purse just so I could keep them just in case I remember. Because it's like all the good stuff happens when you're driving or like things like the important things. And then when you get home,
yeah.
it's like, damn it, what was that I was supposed to do? And you forget because you didn't
And
write it
you,
down.
and you can't retrace your steps when you're driving.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in the house, I can like backtrack and be like, oh yeah, I remember. Maybe voice memo it. I couldn't hear anything.
You don't
Are
hear Sloane's like pouting like a freaking dog.
No, I can't hear. That's funny. Mom, why are you so mean to me?
She ever since she's come home, she's been like, Geo, Geo, everything Geo. She'll be yelling his name. He's like, he's right in front of you. Stop it. It's right there. And he's just
He
looking at
can still hear you.
yeah.
Oh,
All
that's
right. Well, let's wrap this up.
alrighty.
Some
Start
good
eating
knowledge,
breakfast.
huh?
Are you gonna start eating breakfast?
Yes. I'll have like hard-boiled eggs. I like eating hard. It's
There
a
you
lot
go.
easier. Just sprinkle a little bit of salt.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Exactly.
idea.
To
Yeah.
get my hormones all in check.
Blood sugars, hormones,
Mm-hmm.
make better decisions during the day. Yeah, all the good stuff. The phone came back on.
All righty. Love
All right.
you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.